I liked when we learned about like the meaning of different bases, because then I kept noticing it in different words, and then I kind of knew what the word meant if I didn't know what it meant.
The fun part about orthography is that you get to take the word apart and you get to figure out the bases and find the meaning out of them instead of just spelling the word without knowing what it actually means.
When you take the word apart, you can find that it's like related to some other words that you wouldn't have thought.
In orthography, we learned meanings kind of behind the main meaning of the word that helped us understand what it really meant and use them better. It also helped break bad spelling habits.
I liked learning the history behind the word that we were studying.
A word's meaning in the past is completely different from the meaning in the present now, such like awesome and gymnasium, stuff like that.
Naked.
I like how like the longest word in the world, we got down to the base of it with all the stuff that we knew, like the suffixes and the prefixes and the base.
The base was 2 letters.
When we're studying words, we sometimes or always learn the history of the word, how it was made, and what happened with the word ever since it was created to the modern times.
With a lot of spelling tests, you usually like remember it like super hard, you take the test, and then you forget all of it to make room for the next test. With what we're doing, it's different because like you remember it in a way that you actually remember it like in a different way that you can remember it for like life, depending on how good you are in it.
Orthography can help with more than just spelling. It can also help with like science and stuff, because when we did like the spheres, like that helps with science, not just like spelling.
I like when we learned about all this, the spheres in the atmosphere, like the thermosphere and the stratosphere, and that every word has the same ending base sphere, but they all have different starting bases, which changes the whole meaning of the word.
I like doing the thing where we find out what the words meant before and found out how different they were. Like with nice, it was like the complete opposite. It meant sort of stupid and foolish, like back in the 1600s, and it was really interesting. And I really enjoyed like learning about it and finding out how different it was.
We made posters about Latin verbs and we were learning out the bases, and orthography helped us learn more bases out of Latin verbs, so now if we see them, we know where it comes from and the origin of the word.
This year we worked on Greek and Latin words. We used POLY in Greek, which means many. We used NON, which is one in Greek. We used multi, which means many in Latin, and we used UNI, which is one in Latin. For the UNI one in Latin, I'm going to use an example. The United Kingdom. It's countries that forming together into one.
I liked when we have individual work time, like you get a word and you have to learn about it and stuff. I think that was fun.
I like in the orthography how some words you think you know the meaning for it, but actually you don't. For example, like the word awesome, you always think it as an optimistic thing, like that was an awesome kick in a basketball or soccer or something like that. But really, it could also mean awesome isn't something bad, because in awe. So I find that very interesting in different words as well.